Did you ever have anybody say anything to you as a child that still can affect you, like just fucking gut punch you today, or have we reached the age where that's?
You mean if I think about that time? What do you mean?
Because growing up in my neighborhood, my older brother Jimmy would scrap with some of the neighborhood kids,
Right.
And that always, like, I never liked seeing my brother fight,
Right.
And that made me overprotective of my younger brother. But one time, like, some guy that was fighting with my brother Jimmy, got me alone on a street and started like, he was 5 years older than me, which is when you're 9, a huge difference.
Sure.
And started picking on me. And I tried to walk away, and I was pushing my bike, and he started hitting my back.
Right.
And if I think about it, I still get wound up.
Yeah.
I still get wound up.
Oh yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I got that. It brings you right back.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kid's probably was dealing with that shit. Someone probably is doing that to him. You know what I mean?
Right.
There was this episode of, there was one thing. My dad used to be, was a big guy.
Yeah.
No one ever messed with him. Sure. And when I was little, I had to be like 10, maybe younger. Right. And so my dad was probably in his 30s, and like that's when he was like really into like fitness and stuff. And he used to be, he had a few jobs, and one of his jobs was he was a superintendent of this huge block of apartment buildings. And so he was like he fixed it, he was right. And I remember it was like probably in the very early 80s. And it's when like everyone like kids hung out outside, like punks, like teens and stuff like that. They'd walk around with like the tube socks pulled up with jorts and no shirt on, like smoking cigarettes. Like it was just like a really like, that whole like, right. And I remember that he got a call that a bunch of kids were in the pool. There was a communal pool. Okay. But it was closed. And they hopped the fence, and they were all like literally like it would look like something out of a friggin' punk rock poster. They were all just leaning on the brick wall. Cause my dad, he got the call and I was with him. So he's like, I just gotta go to the pool and take care of something. I gotta tell the kids they gotta leave. But they were like, I'd say between like 18 and young 20s. Like they were older. And there was probably 15 kids in the pool area, and they were all leaning against the wall, like lined up, like just like hanging out. I guess that's what I don't know. And I remember it so distinctly because it looked like, who hangs out like that? Like all lined up again, along a building, like 1 foot up on the wall, like just like leaning on the wall. Like posing. Yeah. Right. And, so my dad went in there, and he's like, all right. And I waited by the gate. He's like, wait here. And he opens the gate with the lock, and then he walks in. I guess they all hop the fence, and he walks in. He's like, all right, guys, come on. You got to go. And they didn't move. And my dad's like, you guys, I don't know what to tell you guys. You got to get out of here. Right. And there was 15 of them. Sure. So they didn't move. So my dad's like, all right. And my dad just, I saw him like, it's not worth it. Like, what am I going to do? What is he going to do? And he's not going to fight 15 people. Also, they're young. And also, what can he possibly do? So he was, I just saw him be like, like he just was like, whatever. So he turned around to walk away. And as he turned around, one of the kids pushed him from behind and pushed him into the pool. Oh man. Yeah. He was dressed. He was in his sanitation uniform, but it was a complete sucker push. Like my dad turned around. None of them said anything to my dad. None of them mouthed off or anything. But I guess when he turned around and he didn't know who did it, and the kid pushed him, and my dad fell in the pool. Right. And so my dad swam. He didn't say nothing. He fell in, came up, swam to the side, climbed up the ladder, and walked out. Right. And I was like, Dad, what just happened? He's like, no, the kid just pushed me. I'm like, what are you going to do? He's like, what am I going to do? He's like, what am I going to do? I can't go hit a kid. Right. What am I going to do? And I was just like, it got me so, like, my dad didn't really care. Yeah, like, there was nothing he could do. Seeing your father in that position. But I like, to this day, I was like, what a fucking punk. Like, if I could, you know what I mean? Like, and it was such a pussy move. Yeah. Like there's 15 of them, and he waited till he turned around. And my dad didn't really even care. Like, he was just like, that sucks. But he just more shrugged it off. But he probably wanted to kill them. Sure, of course. But for me, he just like shrugged it off. But that to this day stays with me, and that's 30 years ago.